Hello people, welcome back to the Redundancy Crusader Talks To. I'm talking to Annabel Kaye, and this time we're focusing on the communications piece, which is Annabel's third golden rule of doing redundancy properly. So let's have the thoughts of Chairman Annabel on communications.
Probably you can get the other two dramatically wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You can set up the wrong structure, you can have the wrong method of selecting people, and you can still send people out the door of redundancy reasonably contented. I'm not suggesting anyone's thrilled to be fired.
No.
But if they have understood how you've got there, even if they think you're an idiot, they can live with that. But if they have no understanding of how you got from this big picture of we need to change to picking them, it can be incredibly painful and disruptive for people. Not just during that meeting, when they can be humiliated because they ask questions and people go, we're not telling you, you've no right to know that.
Yeah.
But this is your consultation meeting, this is your opportunity to talk. But don't ask that. And I'd really rather you didn't go there. That can be very painful for people who know what's coming next. But it's also disruptive to them a year later when people say, well, you used to work at such and such a place, what happened? And they go, I used to be there, but I got made redundant.
Mm.
Because a lot of managers are tucking into genuine redundancy exercises, ways of getting rid of people who aren't that much appreciated. And people know that. So they need to know, how did we get from this need to me risking not having a job? They really need to. And it fascinates me that the law requires consultation, both individual and if there are enough people collectively.
Yes, yeah.
And at the moment, the government is lobbying for reduced consultation time because industry feels this is a handicap. But nobody said market research is a handicap, designing your marketing campaigns properly is a handicap. Once again, we come back to the idea that dealing with people who depend on you for their livelihood in an appropriate way is only going to be done when the law makes you do it to the minimum extent that you are obliged to do it. Yeah. It's a very funny piece of thinking if you're in the human resource business. Mm-hmm. What would be more appropriate would be to look at what needs to be communicated to whom and over what timescale. And that might not be 2 days and a quick lunch and you've been locked out the office. Not for everybody then, would it?
No. But it's interesting you say that because what you've described is what happened to me. And you do have a sense that there's a part of your personal story missing. Mm. Because when people said to me, why have you been made redundant? I genuinely said, I have no idea. Because I asked the question and I didn't get an answer. And that is deeply disempowering.
Yes. I mean, for what it's worth, I tell my individual clients the correct answer to that is fickleness. Not mine, theirs. But that doesn't explain all satisfactorily to most people.
No.
It's very disempowering. And of course, I have worked on redundancy exercises where there have been useful interventions by people. Bosses tend to think the employer's going to say, well, don't make me redundant, fire the chairman. It's not, by the way, an unheard of suggestion. They do earn 400 times what I do, why am I going? But beyond that, people do make real and constructive suggestions that often reduce the headcount change it, make appropriate things. The idea the boss knows everything is somewhat dated, in my opinion. There are useful things to know, even if that job is not saved.
Yeah. And
useful dialogues to have that help people walk out the door knowing, what do I need to do next if I don't want to be in this situation again?
Yeah.
And even if that is turn up on time and pull your weight, that's a useful thing to know if that's the reality of how you got there.
Yes.
And if it isn't, you don't want to be worrying about that bit.
No. Annabel Kaye, thank you very much.